everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a recipe of dal curry, especially the one that we serve on especially for Onam, Vishu that is coming up. It's served on rice along with ghee. So one of the common questions that will come across is which dal to use for this recipe. Well, today I'm going to share that moong dal is the best one, which can be made for sweets or for curries. Moong dal, the whole version of it, has a green shell, a husk on it, right? This is typically made with any curries that is on its own, or you can actually have plantain along with it. I think I've shared one of this recipe on our channel. If you want to check it out, that'd be nice. If you split that, it looks like this. It's not typical that we use a lot of this because of how mushy it might get by leaving that skin in the dish, right? If you were to blend this dal with any leafy vegetables, that husk, even if it gets mush, it won't be as visible as if it was to cook by itself. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is moong dal whole split, and this particular one is actually moong dal that is toasted, that took off all the skin. It's nice and toasted, but we're going to bring this back to life. Okay, so I got about 3/4 of a cup of moong dal ready to go for this recipe. Now you might run into a situation, what if this is not available in your grocery store? Well, I got you covered. In Asian stores, tur dal is easily available. Tur dal is actually made for sambars. When you're making a variety of sambar dishes, tur dal is preferred to use for that recipe. Tur dal is much smaller than split dal. Split dal is usually made for Parippu. Parippu means dal in Malayalam. So Parippu we use the split dal for Parippu. Okay, that's how Parippu vada came along. This recipe is going to be made in an Instapot, so it makes your life much easier, and you're not going to be dicing a lot of the ingredients. What we can do first is get our Instapot to turn on to a saute mode, and we're going to put a timer for 20 minutes. You don't need all 20 minutes, but it depends on how the freshness of the dal, right? So we got about 3/4 of a cup of dal, which I am going to, without oil, just toast it in our Instapot, right? Whilst dal is toasting, you should prefer to use a wooden spatula. Make sure to just stir occasionally. As it heats up, then you're going to be stirring more frequently. For this recipe, we'll be using fresh curry leaves, couple of green chilies, few pearl onions, 1 garlic clove, and a teaspoon of cumin and a teaspoon and a half of turmeric powder, along with half cup of grated coconut. Season this with some salt and coconut oil. And our dal is going to be toasting in our Instapot. So it's about maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You just gotta make sure that Instapot liner is nice and hot. And the aroma from that dal being toasted, you will get to know that the dal will let you know that it is ready. You don't want it dark brown, just a slight color change would do. Another way to tell if the dal is ready, just pick one up and bite on it, and if it's nice and crunchy, that means it's done. So we're going to cancel this. Transfer to a bowl. We're going to let this cool before we wash it. While the dal is cooling, we are going to keep this to a side and work on our gravy. How to do so? Get a blender, add all of these ingredients into this, like half cup of grated coconut goes in, few of your green chilies. I prefer to use 2, but if you don't like it, just go with at least 1. You're not going to have too much flavor of green chili in this recipe. You're adding flavor. Few curry leaves, few pearl onions, 1 garlic clove, your cumin, the turmeric powder we add into the Instapot. Otherwise, this whole thing will turn yellow and there's no way going back. Let's blend this into a fine paste, and I'll show you how that looks like. Okay, I didn't grind this into a very fine paste, but it's going to blend it very well in our gravy. So let's keep that to the side. Let's take a look at our moong dal. It's nice and cooled off. We're going to use some water to wash it. The water will be murky at first, but as you wash a couple of times, it will clear up. The first wash looks like this, and I'm going to drain this off and come back with some more fresh water, and we'll do this a couple of times. Alright, so after 3 washes, our dal looks like this. It's clear water. Let's go over to our settings in Instapot. We're going to be cooking this in pressure cooker mode. Choose that, and we're going to choose pressure high, and for about 10 minutes. That's perfect, right? So first off, we're going to add our coconut oil to coat the bottom of the pan. Okay, once our oil is heating up, we're going to add all of our ingredients that has been in the blender to the oil. Just give it a little toss. Okay, we'll pick up all that at the end. Add, there's our wooden spatula. Give it a good mix. The aroma from that grated coconut, the garlic, cumin, green chilies, and curry leaves is gonna let you know that this is ready. Just a couple seconds. That's all. We're gonna add our dal in with some water. Give it a mix. That's about 1/4 cup of water. We're gonna add the rest of it, like about total of 2 cups of water is going in to cook that dal. We're gonna add our turmeric powder. Give it a mix. Perfect. Let's get all that ingredients left in there. Pour it in. So a total of 2 cups of water goes into our Instapot. I like to wait before I add my salt because I want to make sure that the dal gets a chance to cook very well, right? Nice and fine paste. So we're going to close this lid and let it cook for 10 minutes. The pressure is on sealing mode, not venting mode, and I don't want to keep it warm, so I'm just going to cancel that and wait for 10 minutes. Alright, our dal just came off the pressure cook mode. Give it a good mix and see. So right at this stage, the dal is well cooked. We're going to go on to the next mode, which is saute mode, and I don't need it for 20 minutes. I just need it for like 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to add some more water. Because the more water you add to this curry, it's thicker and creamier it becomes. Okay. Now you must be wondering, why couldn't I just add the rest of the water? Well, if you are pressure cooking this, the more water that you have, it tends to like bubble up and leak out of it. So that's why I'm controlling the amount of water that I put, and in multiple stages. And now that it is coming back to life, I'm going to season right now with some salt. This tastes awesome, like really awesome, if you can serve it with ghee on top of rice. Once this timer goes off, our dish will be complete, and I'll pour it into a serving platter and I'll show you how that looks like. Alright, that's how easy it is to make dal curry. How simple is it? You don't have to do any chopping. Everything goes into the blender, mix it up, put the dal in, wash it, pressure cook it, and it's done. It's very tasty, so I've just poured a little bit of coconut oil on top of it. If you prefer to have ghee, that would be even better. So just try it out, what flavors that you like. I just can't consume ghee, that's why I didn't put, but this is actually a typical dish that goes along with ghee. So I strongly encourage you to try it, and let me know in the feedbacks in the comments below. See you next time. Bye bye.